Hi everyone, this is Anna Martinez
Dana Sika.
and we are behind the Home for Good social media. And today we are here with Mark Horvath, who is one of our biggest supporters and also our social media guru. So thank you for being here.
There's no such thing as a social media guru, but I just really have been honored to be a part of the Home for Good. First, I was asked to be a stakeholder, and then they said, well, let's get in the social media space. Would you come down and hang out? And you guys have been awesome.
Well, we've been so grateful. We wouldn't have been able to launch our social media presence without your help.
Stop, go on.
So we actually would want to do something special today and ask you a couple of questions.
Oh, I'm
so
in
it's
trouble.
more of a get to know Mark Horvath, the man behind Hardly Normal.
A little behind the scenes. I was coming here to interview them as this was a part of the lesson on how to do web video to, just make your blog a little more attractive, and they spun it around on me. So the trick's on the trickster.
So in keeping with our Home for Good blog, we figured we would ask you 4 questions.
Okay.
The first one, we've asked everyone, why did you decide to sign on for Home for Good?
If you follow Hardly Normal or the InvisiblePeople.tv message, it's all about working together. I really believe we can end homelessness. But right now, the way the system is, we're doing a lot of stuff that just maintains homelessness, does very little to end homelessness. As I've traveled, I've been really lucky that I've been in over 100 cities and hundreds of homeless services and toured. And what I found, what makes one community more effective than the other is that they work together. So the Home for Good is the faith-based organizations, businesses, and nonprofits, government, all coming together to work on what they do best instead of fighting over differences. It's also based off the 100,000 homes model, some of it, which, as many of you know, I just love tremendously for the chronic homeless. So it was, it wasn't really something I had to think about. It was an honor. I mean, gosh, I'm signing a document with the mayor, I mean, it was really, but one of the cool things about the leadership behind it was I said, you guys, know that I have this, voice in homeless services and social media, and that I'm going to talk about it, so you better start doing something. And they go, yes, we know you, we want you anyway. So that's why I signed.
Well, that's a perfect segue to our next question. You've been super instrumental in helping us launch Home for Good social media. So what do you think, why do you think social media is so important to end homelessness?
Well, it's interesting. First off, one of the grassroots movements that eventually is going to happen, I am trying to expedite it a little, is to empower homeless people to have a voice through social media. Because here we are an industry, and we are an industry that has a lot of compassion and cares for people, but are we really listening? And what I mean by that is, in today's world, the consumer has all the power. Southwest Airlines, Nike, Motrin, Kenneth Cole, on and on and on and on. Different organizations, Nestle's. That something happened and there was a social media backlash and the brand had to change. So Best Buy no longer has the power. We have it. So to dramatize the point, make it a little simpler, is if I go to a restaurant and I don't like the food, I can go and, or if I like the food, it goes both ways. I grab out my iPhone and I get on Twitter and I say, gosh, this place was really awesome, or this place was horrible, don't come here. And if enough people on social media grab onto that, then they have to change or keep on doing the good stuff. So when social media gets in, and it's already there, when social media gets in the hands of the people we serve, we're going to get a response that we're going to be able to change to better augment services to what's really working. I really think that is one of the biggest changes that we'll see in homeless services. I mean, years ago, it was a homeless person would write a letter to the editor of the local newspaper, and if it got published, it was, you know what I mean? But now, and it is, it's happening, and it's nothing to be afraid of. It's something to embrace.
Cool. So we also know that you're leaving LA, and you're gonna go on a upcoming cross-country trip, so we were hoping you could tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, last couple of years, first off, I hate to drive, so this is really, last couple of years, I've been really, it's just been amazing that people have supported me to travel around the country to help change the story of homelessness. The bottom line is literally housing programs have started and feeding programs, and people are basically, I'm all of your, if you're watching this, you're probably in the homeless service space. I'm all of your marketing plans. You know what I mean? So I'm supporting all of you as I travel. And it's really, paradigms have changed, and communities have rallied, and it's just been amazing. I wasn't going to do it this year. I should say I probably wasn't going to do it any of the times. And this year ended up being even bigger. So I was in Calgary speaking at a homeless conference, and when I got off the stage, some wonderful people said, "Hey, why don't you road trip Canada?" Oh, and then there was some seed funding. We still need some more funding, but we're just going to make it happen. And we're then GMC lent me a car, and Murphy Oil paid for the gas, and Petro-Canada paid for the gas in Canada. It's a little sidebar of all this, but how I use brands is that's the megaphone, because the National Alliance to End Homeless, which I love, and the National Coalition and all of the nonprofits have been talking about homelessness forever, and there's been not a whole lot of change. But if GM and Pepsi and Hanes has signed on this year to support with giving me socks, once they start talking about homelessness, people listen, you know, and that's been, the car is wonderful, the gas is wonderful, the socks are wonderful, but it's the relationships with the brands that really where I've affected change. So because GM giving me a car, I now have to drive from Los Angeles all up in through Canada, and there's parts of Canada that I have to fly to because it'd be like months to drive to, and I'm actually really excited about that. It looks like some gorgeous parts of the country. And then I get over to Boston, and then I'm going to come into New York, and then I'm going to park the car, and then I'm going to fly to Panama to speak. And then I'm going to come back to New York, and I'm going to get in the car and drive to the Midwest, park the car, and then fly to Pakistan to speak. And then I'm coming back, and I will end up here at this thing called Blog World, which is a week before Home Walk. Good.
Nice plug in there.
Yes, I got it all covered. GM, Murphy Oil, Petro-Canada, Hanes, and Home Walk.
Home Walk, November 19th, Exposition Park. HomewalkLA.org.
Yeah.
So for our last question, we wanted to throw in a little fun one. And so we want to know, what was your favorite cartoon growing up and why?
Oh, my gosh. My favorite cartoon episode that I can remember was George Jetson's, when Judy, you know, George's daughter, was dating some musician. And George Jetson got up to play drums. And, you know, everybody's going, "Go, Daddy, go. Go, Daddy, go." So, if I see some jazz drummer, like, going, shoot, 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 I always start yelling, "Go, Daddy, go. Go, Daddy, go." So, yeah.
That's great.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sitting with us. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we will be doing more of these very soon.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank
Follow
you.
me. I'm Dana Angela.
Anna Patines. Follow Home for Good LA on Twitter and also on Facebook, and of course, Hardly Normal.
Hardly Normal, Invisible People is Hardly Normal Light because I get a little chatty if you haven't noticed already. And We Are Visible is a site that teaches social media literacy to homeless people.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.